Hello and welcome on webinar A New Way of Indoor 3D Scanning with FARO SWIFT solution. So my name is Andrej Orešnik. I'm coming from IB-CADDY company. With me is also Benjamin Skapin from IB-CADDY company, who is actually the technical engineer for segment of FARO solution. With us are also respected partner FARO. There is Peter Schuh, who is distributor manager for Central and Eastern Europe, and also Pius Winteler, who is actually sales and technical engineer at FARO company. So let's start with this webinar with presentation for FARO SWIFT. In the beginning, I would like to say a little bit more about our company. So actually we have 3 locations. The headquarters is here in Ljubljana in Slovenia. We have the second location in Kamnik, also in Slovenia, and the location also in capital in Serbia, in Belgrade. So actually our company, IB-CADDY, works in different area with SolidWorks solution, for example, 3D experience solution, some CAM softwares, 3D printers, and so on and so on. But basically today we will present FARO solution, actually one segment of FARO solution, what is actually SWIFT. You can take a look. Behind me is this solution here with focus and tripod, SWIFT, and so on. So let's say more about IB-CADDY and FARO partnership. So actually we are official reseller for all FARO products in Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia Herzegovina, Serbia, Montenegro, and Macedonia. So actually the FARO is divided in different segments for metrology, reverse engineering, public safety, and so on. And today we will talk more about construction BIM and this FARO SWIFT solution. So I will pass my words to my colleague Peter Schuh, distribution manager from FARO. Peter, stage is yours.
Thank you, Andrej. As already introduced by Andrej Orešnik, my name is Peter Schuh, and my role at FARO is distribution manager for Central and Eastern Europe. So it's a great pleasure for me to welcome you in the name of FARO to our today's webinar, and thank you for joining us today. Before we get started, many thanks also to the whole team of our great distribution partner, IB-CADDY, for arranging. What can you expect within the next roundabout 40 minutes? Of course, as announced in our invitation, we will present you our new released FARO Focus SWIFT. But this session will also define FARO in the field of IC and will give you a picture how our FARO solutions interact and optimize the use of reality data and how FARO solutions can help you in your daily practice. So let me start with some general information about FARO. Who is FARO? FARO is the world's most trusted source for 3D measurement, imaging, and realization technologies. And what drives us at FARO? To enable an easy and accurate connection between the physical and the virtual world. Brought down to the point, FARO is a global developer, producer, and provider of 3D measurement, imaging, and realization technologies. Our headquarters are based in Lake Mary, USA, Korntal-Münchingen, Germany, and in Singapore. FARO provides specific measurement and 3D laser scanning solutions, mainly for the following industries: product design, public safety and forensic, and manufacturing. But in our today's webinar, our focus is on FARO's 3D laser scanning solutions for the IC market and BIM construction. FARO provides for the IC market hardware and software for a seamless workflow which closes the gap between real objects and their digital representation in both directions. How does this work? Let's take a look on FARO's main product range in the field of IC. On the hardware side, we have a complete range of 3D laser scanners, also 2D and 3D handheld scanners, combined with a wide range of FARO software, from solutions for 3D point cloud processing, registration, documentation, and quality control, up to VR visualization and 3D reality data sharing. The next thing we'll see is that FARO also provides some specific solutions. As example, for mobile mapping, 3D drone scanning, and mobile scanning. And as we can see, on all those pictures, the core of all these specific solutions is always a FARO 3D laser scanner. And here's the next slide. And with our tracer laser imager and projection systems, FARO provides also a new industry standard for repeatable laser-guided assembly. Let me close this general information about FARO with a very important point. We saw in the slides before the product line of FARO in the field of 3D laser scanning. And you can believe me, it's a great one. But most important is that FARO also provides, over the whole usage time of our equipment, a worldwide excellent technical service, as well support and trainings to use our FARO devices in the best possible way. Yes, I really hope I could catch your interest for the next practical sessions about our new released FARO Focus Swift. And for this, I hand over to my colleague, Pius Winterler, our field application engineer. Thanks for your attention.
And thank you very much, Peter. Hello, my name is Pius Winterler, and I will now lead you a little bit more through the technical and detailed session together with Benjamin Scapin from IB-CADDY. Let's talk first about what is actually the concept, why FARO is having or creating capturing machines, why you want to make sure that you can get a accurate representation of your surrounding in 3D digital. Now, in the basic concept, you want to capture data with our laser scanner, with our 2D planner, with our Swift, and you want to process this. Now, during the processing phase, this is not a part of this webinar, but we have powerful solutions to help you to generate 2D plans, 3D plans, BIM, whatever you need out of these capturings. And this will lead you then to something you can commercialize. Probably you sell the data, probably you use it for certification, verifications, and we will see a few of those applications at the end of the presentation. But just to know, in this basic concept, the better or the more fitting your capturing process is, the smoother your process quality is overall, and the better you can commercialize what you produce every single day. So now, what we thought about when we built the FARO Swift was, okay, we have the FARO Focus, which is an exceptionally good, and you will see it afterwards when Benjamin Scapin takes over, an exceptionally good 3D scanner. Incredible accuracy, incredibly fast. You just place it on a position, it scans and captures 3D data. But of course, if you want to capture a large area, it's just stationary. So what if we could capture just a 2D floor plan by walking through? So for this, we created the FARO ScanPlan. The FARO ScanPlan is a mobile device which delivers you 2D data from a floor plan while you walk. And you can certainly try to run faster than the ScanPlan can capture, but probably you will not, even if you're using Bolt. It's really fast. Now, of course, the market developed, and then came the next challenge. We had now an incredibly good stationary scanner and an incredibly fast 2D scanner, but you wanted to go mobile mapping. That means walking through a room and capture it in 3D. And first, our idea was, should we make now a device which is this fully mobile 3D scanner? But we thought, how many applications you have? You will certainly have applications, especially for large areas to capture, where a mobile scanner is awesome. But for everyday use, sometimes you need just a little bit more accuracy. Sometimes you need to have a little bit more speed. You want to decide between the two of them. And from that, we said, hey, why it's not taking our two best devices and put them together in one solution? And we call this the FARO SWIFT. The FARO SWIFT offers you the option to capture 3D data mobile by just combining the FARO Focus and the ScanPlan together in one solution. And this gives you also the option, when you say, okay, now I have a smaller job, I just want to capture it with the Focus, you can separate the two of them and just use this device which you need now the most, which is something which you don't find on the market normally. So now I would like to go in this part of the webinar. I will give the word to my colleague from IB-CADDY, Benjamin Scapin, and he will talk you a little bit more about the two separate parts which we have from the Swift. And I think you start now with the 2D floor plan. Benjamin, okay. It's yours.
Thank you, Pius. My name is Benjamin, and I would like to present to you, let's say, hardware ScanPlan and hardware Focus separately to easily understand the whole Swift situation. First, I will present you a FARO solution called FARO ScanPlan. FARO ScanPlan is a handheld 3D scanning solution that you simply take and in your hand and just walk with it through the building on the smartphone display, which is connected to the device. You see your progress, and you even can take photos in this 2D plan. And what is really important is that all photos you take between scanning are located in exactly location in 2D plan you just scanned, so on the position when you capture them. So this gives you opportunity of a lot of applications. The capture data is then processed and finalized in FARO Zone 2D software, from where you can export the captured 2D plans in PDF, DWG or DXF formats. And that's make ScanPlan a great solution for everyone who needs quick and fast 2D floor plan mapping or scanning. If we go now on applications, let's say in Europe, there is a lot of buildings that not have proper documentation. That means that are not legalized. And in most of European countries, the minimum of what you need for legalization of the building is 2D plan. And for better understanding, 2D ScanPlan will take you roughly 30 minutes to scan 2-floor family house with taking all the pictures of, I don't know, electricity or water or heating installation in 30 minutes 2D plan. And even when we have 2D plan and all these images which are really important for legalization of that building, you already have all information, including how many square meters are there of living space in that building. Also, there is a really good application for planning and controlling fire safety regulations for fire safety inspectors. Basically, you can quickly prepare 2D floor plans for building, maybe without proper documentation, for escape routes. Maybe you can control of location of and suitability of fire system and equipment. We can see here on the picture, the pictures where are locations of the fire extinguishers, and even the label on the extinguisher if it's okay, if it's out of date, or if it needs to be replaced. So a lot of new applications. Sorry, I'm just going back. Also, the solution was really good, and it was, let's say, adopted from security services as well. And it was really good in use for planning extraction plans for protecting people, like, let's say, VIPs. But nevertheless, also a big application, area of application is also in construction site control and also building maintenance. Let's say that we need to control the progress of different stages of construction. So we just take ScanPlan, go through the building, take some pictures, and see, okay, on this datum, we have this stage of the building. And you just send those pictures, plans with exact location to your contractor, subcontractors, and just inform them what is need to be done. And also scanning and capturing data for the purpose of building maintenance. If you are, I don't know, the contractor of maintaining some building, no problem. You just scan it, you take all those data, and you have it in one, let's say, PDF in one format. But taking all this in account, I will just say this is just half of Swift that Pius already mentioned. It is mobile mapping, and it's really fast mobile mapping, but it's only 2D capture. We don't have 3D data. So representing 2D data is really powerful. But imagine that everything that we saw in 2D, we can have in 3D, in three-dimensional space, in color, with the accuracy of millimeters, that you can plan, I don't know, the way in, way out of something going inside the building, outside of the building, taking all the obstacles in the account on the way of this. This could make 2D much more powerful. So we are going here on a 3D. And in this moment, I would like to present you the second hardware. And the second hardware is basically 3D laser scanner called FARO Focus, which already Pius and Peter said it's really accurate, it's really amazing, easy of use. And let's see how it's working. So FARO Focus is a 3D laser scanner. It's a device that you place stationary on the position to capture 3D data in 360 degrees. You just put it out of the case, place it on a tripod, and start scanning. And on the video here, we can see that you can scan basically any shape in all directions, all 360 direction, with accuracy of ±1 millimeter, which is really accurate. But because it's a stationary device, we need to reposition it after every scan, after each scan. But because we have a position with stationary position, we can scan in color. We can take pictures between the scanning, and we get this colorful, let's say, digital twin of the real world. And here, placing the scanner on multiple position, we get all the surroundings from all the way. And we can make, as we saw here on the video, like flight route or measurements, or even make as-built 3D BIM models based on this data. So FARO Focus is really powerful solution, but as you said, it's stationary, which is not, let's say, bad, it's basically really good, because if we are stationary scanning, we can have a different range of scanning with really good accuracy. And here we have different ranges, which are basically also the names of the different variations of the FARO Focus. And we have S70, S150, and S350 range. That means that is the whole diameter of everything. It's of the biggest one. It's 700 meters, which gives us a lot of applications in construction, even in constructing big bridges and so on. Talking about applications, let's see where are the benefits from 2D to 3D. And here is one application of scanning the whole house with stationary 3D scanning. And from the data, we can get 2D. We call it in FARO solution, we call it overview maps. But every single overview view map on the position when the scanner was standing, we have also 3D view, which is on the left side of this picture. And we have it as a picture with a 3D data behind, or with a point cloud, as a point cloud, as a color, point cloud in color. And this makes us a lot of new opportunities to use it. Let's say taking simple measurements. Here is a 3D scan of railway going down the bridge. The bridge was constructed as new, and after construction, they just check if everything is okay. There we have this distance. So how much is the height, the space from the railway to the bridge, if everything was constructed correctly? So that makes FARO Focus really powerful solution for 3D scanning. But again, with the ScanPlan, we said we have just a half of Swift. And also here we have, let's say, a half of Swift, because it is an amazing 3D capture solution, but it's only stationary mapping. So in this moment, I'm starting to thinking, okay, can we connect those devices? How can we connect those devices? And as Pios already said, FARO go step further, go with the market, what they're looking for. And I will just give a word back to Pios to present us basically how to connect those devices. Pios?
Thank you very much, Benjamin. So, as you said already, Benjamin, it was a challenge because we had these two devices, but how to connect those devices together? First of all, FARO is manufacturer. We manufacture everything by ourselves, and we also have our entire R&D in-house. So when you buy FARO, you buy in-house development and in-house manufacturing too. So we understand our devices quite well, but still how to synchronize both of them together was a huge challenge for our engineering. But finally they solved it, and they decided now to just sync the ScanPlan and the FARO Focus together through a regular smartphone. You can take smartphone, you can take an iPad if you want, and just sync them together. And our software is then intelligent enough to understand how they capture the data. And later on in the processing phase, it will then create a 3D point cloud, a 3D representation of your surrounding from the ScanPlan and from the laser scanner together. And so to connect those devices together, we said, okay, but we need to have at least some distance to each other, some stable device. And we said, okay, what's something very simple? And look no further, 100% Swift, this is it. So we said we take a trolley, and you can switch out the trolley. We deliver you a trolley with the Swift, which comes from our, which is adjusted in our manufacturing, that you can place on the tripod and the ScanPlan holder. But if you want, you can always switch it out to other trolleys, which are probably smaller or larger or higher as you need it. So we combine here 100% Swift for mobile mapping with full 3D capture. And I would like to show you in this video a little bit what does this mean. So we have here as an example a quite large industrial hall. It will take us a lot of stations to capture this. And the FARO Focus Swift, as said, you take it out of the box. You have two boxes and both are the size for hand luggage. So if you want to travel by plane, you can take it in hand luggage. Then you add the cart, which you can ship also by plane as a golf cart, combine everything together, start it, and here, while it runs, it captures. Now, sometimes we gotta ask, yeah, but what is this for my laser scanner if it runs so fast? Is this some thing which will shorten my guarantee? No, it doesn't. So you can really use the scanner is so rigid, you can use it in this setting constantly and it will not have any effect on it. So as you see, they walk through, while they go, they capture. And one benefit is that our capturing device for this mobile scanning is a focus with ±1 mm accuracy. So because you have such a good capturing laser, you will have also a really accurate 3D point cloud. You see here some difference in scanning. Traditionally, 120 minutes of scanning. With the Swift, it's just 8 minutes pushing it through the hall and capture what you need. Put it back in the box, bring it home. You can transfer or process the data while you're traveling back. And when you arrive, everything is already ready. This is the FARO Swift solution. To just sum up some bullet points we have, the FARO Swift is up to 10 times faster than stationary scanning. And as you mentioned, you just take it off, you paste it together, you push it, and that's everything you need to learn about. And as we said at the beginning, you can separate the two devices, which gives you an incredible freedom of choice, which you usually don't find in an integrated solution, which is mobile only. We also give it options to fully integrate it into our ecosystem, which means, for instance, WebShare Cloud, where you can upload the data and share it with others over internet. If you have stakeholders which want to access project data, but they don't want to download a lot of software or download gigabytes of point clouds, you can just send them a link. They can go online, watch it, and they see immediately all of the data without a lot of download. There is this two solution. One is based on our servers, and we also have a solution which you can install in your own servers. It also provides you the best 3D accuracy on the market because we use the stationary laser scanner as a base, which just is better than a regular one. So here another example, it's a 1,500 square meter of a parking garage. Usually you would need to have a lot of positions with your laser scanner to scan it, which are at least 24 scans and 60 minutes. And now with the Swift, you just push your Swift through this parking garage to capture 10 times faster all of the stations. There are applications where the Swift is exactly good, and there are other applications where you can better go work with the Focus. Target applications of the Swift are factories while in use and in construction, because you have these large planes, office buildings and hospitals, especially when you want to plan some reconstruction. If you come in and you overtake as facility manager new buildings and you just want to know what is there, what goes, probably the floor plans are already pretty old. All the plans you have, you can use the Swift to digitize it and use it as a decision data. And next is, of course, retail shops, where again, you have a lot of area to cover and you just want to make sure that you get exactly the amount of square meters which you pay for. So in general, the Swift is as a target application best when there are large spaces indoors where you would have to take many stationary scans. and you can just mitigate it by use the Swift. Now I would like to talk you, for as the end of the meeting comes near, a little bit more about the laser scan applications. We saw now a few which are used especially for the Swift, but as you know from the beginning, we said this meeting will be also about construction. So where can I use now all this data capture in construction? And we collected now for you a few use cases where laser scanning and also the data from the Swift can be used when it comes building something new or just renovated. But when it comes to building something new, the first thing you need usually is topography. You want to know what is the height, what is the elevation, what topography do I find? Is it a flat ground? Is it on a hill? And with laser scan data, you can capture quite a large space of topography within minutes. And we also have automated processes which can, in apps, which can calculate you the height lines. So you will have then this every 1 meter an elevation line, for instance, drawn automatically, which you can export as DXF. Second is volume calculation. Of course, now we plan on this topography, our building, and we want to make sure that we know how much we have to excavate with an excavator. And within Scene, you can also perform volume calculation. So you make a plane where you say, this will be the ground, the base for my house, and you can calculate how much volume of ground is there to understand how large should the excavator be, or that you also can know what you have to expect if you want to go into controlling, if you want to plan your project, that you can say, okay, I can now calculate here with 777 cubic meters, which I take as a base for my project cost calculation. Now here, when the building is already a little bit more in use, now this video is not playing, okay. Now, if you are now a little bit further in the construction progress, of course, you started to build the foundation, you started to build the walls, and now you're in the process of installing MEP into your floors. But before you pour the concrete over it, you probably just want to go and check, is everything where it should be? Do I have enough of heating for the floor heating? Are all the channels which are within the walls on the right position? So you go and you scan then before you pour over the concrete. So because now in this moment, you still can change something. You can visualize what you scanned together with the CAD model and see where you have discrepancies between what is planned and what is built. And while you still be able to change something, this will make sure that you are in budget. Next is, of course, now you finished this concrete pouring. And you want to know, is the concrete slab as it plans? With this visualization, we see from a plane or from any kind of surface, if it follows this surface. Now, when it comes here to a road, for instance, you want to know if there is rain, if water flows in the direction which is planned. Another application are storehouses. If you have a storage and you need to have a very flat floor, because sometimes you drive over there with your machines, with your lifters, and they're sometimes lifting up tons of material up to 5 or 10 meters. And if there's just one small deviation in the floor, it can, of course, make the entire lift very unstable, which is dangerous. So our scanners are regularly used in storage houses to just control if the floor is still flat, or if you are ordering those storage houses, those warehouses for someone to build for you, you can go and you can check if they are within the specifications you ordered. And last but not least, of course, a full construction documentation that you use the laser scanner while you're constructing, while you make your progress, to constantly confirm and verify if everything is built as it planned. And also here, when it comes to construction documentation, you can always think about also bringing in the Swift when you want to capture a large area of your construction. If you don't want to verify just a few parts, if you want to capture the entire construction site, you can push the Swift through. It takes you just a few minutes, and you then can bring those captures together from several times you captured and see what has changed. Is the material where it should be? Is the tools where they should be? So you can just visualize it also from distance. I mean, because the data is digital, you don't need to travel by yourself on site to see it. It's a verified way of capturing data. It's digitally verified. It's very secure. So even from your home office, you can go virtually on site and measure everything which you need. And this is actually the biggest benefit of this entire solutions, which we showed you now during this webinar. You can go, you can capture, and you have it all the time available wherever you are. And with this, we're at the end of the webinar. Andre, you take over.
Yes. First of all, Pius, Benjamin, thank you very much for this general presentation of new solution from FARO Swift. For sure, it is quite interesting for fast, quick capturing the 3D data with FARO Focus Laser Scanner. So in this case, of course, I would like to say thank you for attending the webinar of this great solution. Once again, if you have some additional question, you can write us also via email. So from my side, I would like to again say thank you for attending the webinar, and I will pass the final words to Peter Schuh from FARO also.
Thank you, Andre. So hello again. I really hope we could meet your expectation in this today's webinar, and that we could attract your interest on an ongoing contact with FARO based on our cooperation with IB-CADDY, our local partner in this region. Let me finally also invite you to visit our website, faro.com, where all our products and solutions are shown and underlined by practical case studies. And as already expressed by Andre, please really use also the possibility to place all your questions and requests to the email address which will be sent out by our partner IB-CADDY after the webinar. Yes, we are really prepared to organize for you individual sessions, web trainings, and also web demonstrations based on our professional web demo studios. I'm really looking forward to times in which we will have again the possibility to meet with all of you personally on one of our live events in your region. So see you soon, and in the meantime, stay safe and healthy. Thanks.
See you. Bye-bye.
Ciao.